Modern cars are crazy expensive. Even for something basic, you're easily looking at spending 5 figures. And don't get me started on sports cars. If you want something fun, you're looking at serious cash. But what if you want a nice, playful sports car and you're on a tight budget? Well, you're in luck because I have searched high and low on Autotrader for the very best affordable sports cars, and I'm ready to share some of my favorites with you right now. So, without further ado, let's fire up the laptop and get into some bargains, all under £10,000.
So, bargain sports cars, price limit, 10 grand. We're keeping it real. Body type, coupes and convertibles, ideally, but I'm keeping an open mind. 2 or 3 doors preferably, but again, if the car's right, I'll cut it some slack.
Some people say SUVs can't be sports cars. You got a point, but I disagree. Anyway, fuel type, electric sports cars are a thing, but not for under 10 grand, so we're going petrol or diesel only. And all that filtering has taken us from nearly 500,000 cars on Autotrader to just a handful, from which I've painstakingly selected 13 of my top bargains based on not science. This is more of a kind of vibes-based methodology. And to make things feel more organized, I've grouped my picks by country because why not? It feels like a good way to organize things. And on top of all that, I've given each one a patented Read Riskometer score. And this is to kind of inform people of the level of risk associated with each one of these purposes. Again, not based on science, just based on vibes. And you know what else? By the end of this video, I'm going to buy one of these cars on my list with my own money. I hope I find something good. Right, here we go. Without further ado.
When you think sports car, you think Italy, right? Ferrari, Lamborghini. Yeah, they're way out of my price range today. But the first Italian bargain that caught my eye was this.
2010 Alfa Romeo Brera, well under 4 grand. How good does that look for 4 grand? Look, I'll admit the Brera was never the greatest Alfa to drive. Not in the same league as the amazing Giulia Quadrifoglio, mainly because it's got about 1/3 of the power and all that power is going to the wrong wheels. Plus, Breras can suffer from electric gremlins, so buy with care, but just think how sensational you're gonna look while you wait for the recovery truck. Read Riskometer score, 6 out of 10. Now, staying in Italy, check this out. Maserati Coupe, 6,470 quid. A proper Mazda for less than half the price of a Dacia Spring. All right, I'll admit, the Coupe isn't the most beautiful Maserati in history. Definitely not as beautiful as the new Maserati Gran Cabrio, but it's still a V8 Maserati. If I was being really fussy, I'd have a manual gearbox instead of the ropey Cambio Corsa automated manual they've got here. But if I was being really fussy, I wouldn't be browsing 6 grand Maseratis. But if you buy wisely, this could bring you years of trouble-free motoring. That's not true, but it could bring you several weeks of very exciting, potentially quite trouble-packed motoring. Read Riskometer score, 9 out of 10. Now, let's head to Japan.
Land of the rising sun, birthplace of sports car greats like the Honda NSX, Nissan GTR, and Toyota GR86, none of which are in budget. So, let's kick off with
Nissan 350Z convertible, 3.5 grand. I can't believe that's a 20-year-old car. It looks fresh, doesn't it? Those alloys are definitely not stock, mind you, but I definitely approve. Okay, the interior is looking a bit patinated, but look, it's a 20-year-old car. We're all a little bit more patinated than we were 20 years ago. It's also rear-wheel drive, 2-seater, 280 horsepower, V6. It's got strong reliability. It's 1/3 of the price of the new Sakura. This one is on my shortlist. I mean, I realize all of this is my shortlist, but still. Read Riskometer score, 3 out of 10. Staying in Japan now. Here's a controversial one. Honda CRZ, 3 grand. Is it a sports car? Debatable. Is it cheap? Definitely. I'm gonna level with you, right? The CRZ is not what you'd call fast. In fact, it's got 100 horsepower? It's what you'd call slow. But that's okay, because it gives you more time to enjoy the corners. That's the upside. And almost no risk, 1 out of 10. Now, staying in Japan, before going even cheaper, how about a Mazda MX-5? Yeah, we had to have one on this list somewhere, didn't we? This is the go-to cheap sports car, and for a good reason. MX-5s have always been decent to drive, good value, plenty of bang for your buck. This one is a steal. Also looks in pretty good nick. The description says, one lady doctor owner. I don't know if that means that the lady is a doctor or a doctor who specializes in... Let's move on. Anyway, low risk on this one. Read risk score, 2 out of 10. While we're in Japan though, check out this bad boy, Subaru Impreza WRX. I used to love these. 18-year-old me would buy one of these in a heartbeat. 54,000 miles, totally stock apart from a new radio. Yeah, so that probably means it hasn't been ragged to death by a boy racer. That's good news. Or maybe it has, but then they crashed it and put it back to stock. But 0 to 62, 5.9 seconds, 221 brake, and still 30 miles per gallon. The sheer respect factor you'd get from driving this thing as well, off the scale. It looks like it's in good nick as well. Big wang gang, interior is nice, that's tempting. I can't think of a reason you wouldn't buy this, to be honest. As long as it's got a good service history and it hasn't been modified to make 1,000 horsepower at some point in its life, I think you're good to go. Risk score, 5 out of 10. Now, let's head to Britain.
Right, the UK, land of ancient castles, roundabouts within roundabouts, and sports cars of historically unreliable temperament.
And I'm feeling the British love for this, a Jaguar XK for 8 grand. This is the predecessor to the F-Type, and like the F-Type, it's front engine, rear drive, big V8 under the hood, all the good stuff. The problem is XKs can suffer cooling system issues, so keep an eye out for that, but it is very pretty. It's got nigh on 400 horsepower. You could have 6 of these for the price of a Vauxhall Astra estate. Tell me you're not tempted. Come on. Risk score, 5 out of 10. However, if a V8 Jag for 7 grand feels a bit risky, can I interest you in a V8 Jag for 1 grand? XK8, 4 litre, 3-figure price tag. What's not to like? Apart from the fact it's done 180,000 miles and the fact early XK8s also suffered from rust and engine troubles, and then there's the fuel bill. But apart from all of that, what's not to like? I'm telling you, if you want to look like an aristocrat who's fallen on hard times, this is the car you need. Risk score, 8 out of 10. Staying in Britain now, with a hint of Germany, this one's a bit left field. It's the Mini Coupe. This car didn't get a whole lot of love when it was new, mainly because it looked like that. But they drive pretty much like a regular Mini 3-door. So this one should be a lot of fun out on the road, especially around those twisty B roads. And Autotrader helpfully informs me that insurance is also very cheap. Probably because nobody would want to nick something that looks like that. Any takers? I'd say risk, 3 out of 10. Now, one more British option for you. I wanted to get a Lotus in here, but there aren't that many good Lotuses to be found under 10K, unless you fancy an Elise that's been literally driven to the moon and back. Damn! So, how about the thinking person's Elise, the Vauxhall VX 220, made by Lotus, shared plenty with the Elise, but a whole lot more rare. If you can find one that's not been modded or spent every weekend on the track, then they're actually pretty reliable as well. There are only a few hundred VX 220s actually left in Britain. Yeah, 10 grand is a lot for an old Vauxhall, but I reckon it's okay for a properly rare, proper performance car. You're still thinking about the Vauxhall badge, aren't you? Yeah, okay, fine. Read risk score, 6 out of 10. Now, to France.
A country with rich motorsport history, magnificent mountain passes, and a total lack of sports car bargains.
Gonna be honest, France I struggled with. The Alpine A110 is lovely, but you can't get an A110 for 10 grand. Here's the best I could do, right? A Peugeot RCZ for a bargainous 1,650 quid. Yeah, these haven't gone down in history as classics, but honestly, they were okay. Such a funny looking car though. It's got a weird looking bum roof, but the price indicator says this one is a grand below the normal price. I'm guessing that's because nobody wants to buy it. Probably because of the bum roof. And the front end, which just looks so weird. Where's the badge? I guess you could think of it as a blank slate though, right? How good would this look with a Ferrari badge on the nose? Yeah, no, it would look terrible. Risk, low, 2 out of 10.
Okay, to Germany. Now we're talking warp speed Porsche 911s, Audi R8s, physics pummeling AMGs, none of which we can afford. So how about
Mercedes SLK. If you want a cheap roadster, honestly, you could do a lot worse. There's plenty out there in every price bracket, good range of engines, decent to drive, not too leery, but the question is, do you go for something as new as possible, with the lowest mileage and the smaller engine, keep it sensible, or do you get the most power for the smallest possible amount of cash? Yeah, second option, check it. 280 horsepower of V6 goodness for 1,600 quid. What's the catch? Honestly, what's the catch apart from the potential for a terrible gearbox failure and the fact it's got no MOT? But don't think what could go wrong, think what could go right. Risk, 6. Now I did want to get a Porsche on this list, and you can get old 911s for under 10 grand, but they tend to be a little bit compromised. I actually tested a Porsche from Theon not long ago, and that thing was brilliant. The problem with old Porsches though, is that they can cost as much as new Porsches, even more. This Theon was £250,000 quid, but it's so nice to look at, right? Anyway, I started digging into Boxsters instead. And look at this. How mint does this look? It's not even the base 2.7, it's the 3.2, the fast one. And you know how good Boxsters are to drive. All right, it's not gonna be cheap to insure. It needs an MOT. It's a quarter of a century old, but that officially makes it a classic, right? I'll admit, a few of my suggestions today might have been a bit Marmite, but this one, certified banger. Risk score, 4 out of 10. So there you go, 13 tempting and maybe not so tempting Autotrader sports car bargains. Which one has caught my eye? Remember I said that I was gonna buy a car from this list. It's gotta be the Boxster, right? I am actually very tempted by it, unless one of you get there first. But actually, I might go a bit left field. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I've given you a very strong list, but I did all this research earlier and I've actually gone out and bought a cheap sports car that isn't on this list. Come with me. Okay, we're going vlog mode. Right, I'm a man of my word. I told you I was gonna buy a sports car. I bought it. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing my new Range Rover Sport L320. Let's go. So let me tell you about it. It is a TDV6 HSC, and it is a thing of beauty, finished in white, 22-inch wheels. It goes anywhere you want to go. I've already taken it off-roading, and it's beautiful to look at. Honestly, what a car. It's got stance for days, and it's got tech for days. It's got a TV inside, it's got a fridge inside, it's got leather everywhere. It's super comfortable, and it pulls like an absolute train. Now, it does have a few warning lights on the dashboard, but we're not worried about that. We can fix that probably. If I was gonna give it a read riskometer score, it would probably be somewhere around 27.5 out of 10, but we don't mind that. Let me know if you wanna know more about this car, and also let me know if I should have bought something else. I'm sure you will let me know, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go drive this bad boy. Thanks for watching, guys. All the best. See you soon. Peace.